Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you again, and welcome to Imola. Okay, just let's wait for a couple of seconds. Make sure that everyone can get connected. Just a couple of seconds. It's always a pleasure and indeed an honor for me to be here with you. It's also a major responsibility for me. So being here, introducing and presenting what this company has prepared for you. Well, maybe this is not necessary, but of course I want to be polite. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Stefano Giordani. I am this company's marketing director. Now, this doesn't mean that, you see me only and I am the only one doing marketing. Of course, there are so many people around and behind me. We have more than 1,000 employees in this company, from the CEO to workers, to employees. Every day and for the whole day, we work to make sure things are beautiful, easy to sell, and especially interesting for you. I hope you remember the live presentation at the end of June. I made a promise and I said, well, we would meet in September. Now, as you can see, we are a little late, so we are now at the end of October. So I would have talked about amore. Okay, here we are, and this is what I'm going to do today for you. So why are we going to talk about amore? Well, I think that for a company, for an organization that's in business for more than 146 years, well, the word amore, love, is the most appropriate word to define our lifeblood. How can we alive? How can we be dynamic? How can we still come up with new ideas after so many years? Well, if it's not thanks to love, amore towards our products, amore towards our people and employees. I have a video now. Please enjoy it. Just with the same spirit you would observe your parents. And this is the reason why I'm showing you this video. So what you are today is a consequence of your parents. So there's a comparison I'd like to share with you today between the past and what we are today. The present wouldn't be possible without the past. Now, amore for us, this is a statement having to do with our history, with our story, with our heritage that we have kept and maintained throughout the 146 years of culture, art, and experimentation. So love, or amore, well, this is a specific statement towards the market. You know that this is basically our traditional tiles, small format, double firing. Now, throughout the years, you must have heard about our positioning on the market. Well, this company, Imola, wants to be and has to be a multi-specialist company. Now, what do I mean by multi-specialist? Let me tell you. This company has to be able to meet the needs of different segments or shares of the market. And we have to make sure customers are positive, and this translates into great opportunities for you, our customers. Now, the world today is flooded with so many products, so many proposals. There's always this kind of rush to imitate something natural, for example, marble, stone, or wood. Or maybe people rush to copy something artificial, for example, concrete. Well, of course, we also have plenty of products that you are using. You are buying these products, you are reselling these products, and we're very happy about this. Now, double firing, you know that this is a totally different kind of product. It is so unique. Let me tell you why. Well, because basically it is an imitation of itself only. And of course, this is the only technology available. So you just have to have these products done or made with double firing. This is the triumph of traditional ceramics. This is the only product where you can see enamels, crystal pieces, and colors. Now, this means we can really modify the shade, the color, every single time by always creating new products or new proposals. I think we've been very lucky, by the way, because, lucky, it's a major word, but let's say that we started working on the Amore project between December 2019 and January 2020. I mean, before COVID, I mean, no one could imagine, to see what is still happening today. So this means that, in a way, we have made sure that people are really rediscovering traditional values. So there were things that were, if you will, totally taken for granted, given for granted. Now we are rediscovering traditional elements. This is a beautiful comparison, in my opinion, and it's just happening by chance. I mean, just by chance, plenty of things happened around the world while we were working to create this new product. I really believe in this. I'm sure it will have a key appeal on the market. So let me tell you what we have done. Basically, we have borrowed something from literature, the word collection. So why a collection? Well, Amore, if you will, is a collection of tales, of stories. Every tale, every story is different, by nature or by inspiration. So these stories or tales represent our collections. Let me tell you why. In the archives of our history, I have a nickname for this, the big box with plenty of memories inside. We looked for maiolikas and plenty of objects, that have succeeded throughout the time. So this is part of the life that we have lived. So we have reinterpreted those objects, and of course they are now contemporary, eclectic projects and objects. Let me tell you why. Well, contemporary because we said that the past is the product that creates the present. Of course, the present is constantly modified. This product is eclectic because we really think that, this product, this is not just for the bathroom or for the kitchen. Because, in the past, we usually made this kind of association. So, once again, tales and stories. I will tell you more about those stories, and all of this has been studied and conceived, specially designed to be unique. This means they can be used for any kinds of floor tiles you can use. Now, these are wall tiles, and you can match it to a natural floor, a ceramic floor, or if you will, a ceramic floor also, and unfortunately sometimes from other tile makers. So let me go back to Amore, our wall tiles. We have two new formats. They are both rectangular, and this is what we have specially designed in order to surprise you and to make sure you can really, really enjoy, the aesthetic aspect of the product plus the installation or laying. 27 different colors. We have a total of 45 different products, unique products. Once again, there's one other thing which is so important to remember. Amore, love, is a proposal which is 100% Italian in terms of production. Now, of course, all the tiles we make and we sell are made right here in our plants in Italy. But also in terms of, a geographical, but also time, location. Let me tell you more about this word. Now, when I say location, I mean that our products have a specific, story. We start from a specific date and then all the way to today. So let me go through them in a chronological order. So let's open our memories box or safe. So let's talk about Icona. So what do we find in Icona? We're going back to the 1960s, maybe end of the 60s and the first part of the 1970s. So after the major economic boom or the so-called post-war Italian economic miracle, people enjoyed economic, financial well-being. So we saw plenty of migration flows from the countryside to metropolitan areas or to industrial regions. Okay, just close your eyes. Let's imagine we are, in an apartment of a building or a condominium of a big city here in Italy, Bologna, Milan, Turin, or our capital city, Rome. So the floors, but in many cases, the wall tiles were made in rectangular shapes. it's usually 7.5 by 15 centimeters. Very light, soft colors and shades, in some cases brushed colors. For example, I remember I was in Modena when I lived with my parents in an apartment. Well, I had green in the kitchen and light blue for the wall tiles in the bathroom. I am sure that there are thousands and thousands of apartments that had been decorated like this some decades ago. So this is what we've done. We started from that time and we have reinterpreted that project in a new format, 10 by 20 centimeters in 6 glossy shades that, in a way, we've taken as a landmark, as a reference, in order to create the chromatic development. I was thinking of Fiat, the car maker, when they developed the new Cinquecento, so the new car from Fiat. This was one of our inspirations. So we're now building a product that basically has two different, let's say, pillars. One is smooth, the other one is so-called structured, in the same color. So we're going back to the same spirit. For example, an iconic object that we enjoyed some time ago, which is, the original Fiat Cinquecento, the 500. I'm now asking my technicians to show you in a minute a video where you will see the photographs and the iconic images. We deployed so many efforts to create all of these icons. So we have some icons or iconographic images that you can see here behind me, just to give a context to the product. So we go back to the origin of the product, we go back to a very specific view in terms of colors and format, so you can really see how the product looks like. But of course, we have created, some context, bathrooms, kitchens, and plenty of unusual locations and situations. Okay then, so this is my first tale or story I'd like to introduce you. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk about gesso, chalk. Now, this is the second tale we have worked on. So once again, we can open this sort of wardrobe, if you will, or this box with plenty of memories, and this is what we find. Now, here we are at the end of the 1980s. And, from the social point of view here in Italy, what we see is come back to nature. People go back to nature, to green, so there's a proliferation, if you will, for people who can afford this. So we have plenty of villas which are built in Italy, or, small villas, but also in terms of apartments. People start, buying new elements, natural elements, so just like living, with nature all around us. I started working in the ceramics industry. I was a young area manager traveling around the country, in the north and in the south of Italy. So at that time, there was an incredible proliferation of the so-called rustic products. And now this means we have so many single firing products. So the terracotta was basically a reference, or the, enameled cotto, or even the traditional cotto, which has basically disappeared. I do remember the first, building, the first house where I lived, and I used the same system. So for the floor, I had cotto type tiles, very rustic, and the size was 16 by 33. Maybe you remember the Bikini Capone bathroom furniture. They built specific, furniture, and they wanted to put, nature, rustic, or antique concepts put together. Maybe you remember Brunelleschi enameled or glazed cotto. They were so successful on the market. Okay, I'm talking about this. You may think of a rustic project. Well, no, not at all. We have interpreted all of this, but then we have developed this in terms of contemporary products. Now, the product is very soft, so to say. When I say soft, I mean soft shape. So we don't have very strong, bold, hard structures. The product here is very soft. The colors and shades come from clays. It feels like chalk. We have developed 6 matte colors. You have smooth, so slightly structured, as we say, but we also have a structured base interpreting the so-called combed or trimmed sand. What do I mean by trimmed sand? It's a decoration method, traditionally comes from Japan. Of course, they use some, plants, and then with some little rakes, they trim or sort of, make some signs and symbols, sort of troughs on the sand. Okay, just think of the beach. You have an assistant there. Maybe they find some sand castles made by children. They use a rake so as to do, let's say, maintenance on the beach. And then, of course, you can see all of the troughs on the sand. So this is what I mean by combed or trimmed sand. Okay, let me share with you what I mean by gesso. Now, if you have observed carefully all of the pictures and the settings you've seen before, well, you can see that there are some locations where, of course, we made, bathrooms and kitchens. But we also have other situations or contexts or locations where our product fits very, very well in these new environments. I mean, this allows us to have sort of, cross-selling, upselling. Okay, then, let's continue our tale. This is aroma flavor. So this is what we mean by aroma. This is what we have in the memories box. Now, with aroma flavor, we are between the 1990s and the beginning of the new millennium. There's well-being, wealth everywhere, so we don't have problems concerning, the basic, needs of our life. So we're now looking for something extra, something that makes us smile or feel good. For example, here we talk about holidays. At that time, in terms of wall tiles, there was a comeback to the so-called Mediterranean ceramics, as you can see here. So, of course, even if we lived in a city or in a large metropolitan areas, we just wanted to live on a beautiful, town or place on the beach, on the sea, here in Italy. Bathrooms, back to bathrooms belonging to that period. Well, in that case, we used the traditional colors of the glossy ceramics of that time. Copper, green, castelli orange, cobalt blue. These were the colors that people usually used. Or maybe we also used some, handmade ceramics made in Sicily or in Campania, so in the Naples area, or in the beautiful coast of Amalfi. Formats were basically square, 10 by 10, 13 by 13, 15 by 15, up to 20 by 20. This is the decision we made today, so we are re-proposing the colors and the shades, but we have totally re-engineered the color palette, which is very current, very contemporary, if you will. Formats, well, we don't have 10 by 20 like for Icona in gesso, but we have here 6 by 24. It's a rectangle, but the ratio is now 1 to 2, the ratio is now 1 to 4, so it's a long tire. The surface is glossy, just some matte areas on the surface. We have a sort of irregular or inconsistent, if you will, edges, as if it was, let's say, a handmade product. We have 9 colors. You can also use the darkest shades. Don't be afraid of this. You will find green, you will find blue, you will find brown, and you will also find red. please take some time and look at the shades of those colors. So we do have some browns and reds and blues and greens, but they are totally different versus, what I've shown you before. So aroma, which means flavor. Why aroma? Well, there are some photographs, some pictures. I'm thinking of, blue or, the white kitchen setting. If you stare at the picture and you breathe in, you almost, smell lavender or even, coconuts in the white kitchen. Okay then, this is almost the end of our tales, of our stories. This is stile, style, of course. So let me share with you the memories we have in stile. And I need, by the way, an object that I would like to show you in a second. Okay, stile is today. This is basically the first, between the first and the second decade of this millennium, or of this century. So there's a shift going on. There was a sort of a British elegance. Now the world has changed, and now we have a triumph of, signs and forms and shapes that are very neat, very clean. In this case, we don't go back to the memories box, but, this is basically the experience that we have inside following the evolution, the development of the taste in the settings and environments all around us. So this product, if you will, can be used or located, in a top design structure. So we can use this product, for example, in the Bosco Verticale, the two incredible, unbelievable green towers in Milan. Maybe this is a little too much. Let's say that I believe in design. Clean shapes, clean forms, minimal architecture, and minimalism, which is your friend, your companion, which is always with you, but being silent. Okay, I step into my home or my house and, I really have to enjoy this situation. Colors are no longer pure. They are mixes, they are blends. It is neither cold nor warm. We decided to create some colors, which is, difficult to name. The format is 6 by 24. This is what we made in two different versions that you can see here. This is bas relief, so it's glossy. This one here is the high relief. This is basically matte. So the real curiosity of this product is that, as you can see here, the two structures, if you do like this, well, they match perfectly. So it's a perfect yin and yang. I know that this doesn't help you sell more products, but I think that this is something useful for me. It's also useful for you. Look at how precise and accurate we have been. Once again, we've been very strict in complying with project regulations. Okay, just a quick comment on this presentation. So you've seen a man, white beard, white hair, just like me, and you can see two different colors, coffee colors. You have one matte, one glossy, element. Now, this means that we have wonderful walls. I mean, the color is absolutely the same, but of course we have different light refraction effects. In the last picture that you must have seen before in the video, we put together two products that, well, in general, but also in theory, have nothing to do with each other. So we have marble ceramic tiles with small colored ceramics tiles whose size is 6 by 24. In our opinion, this is really very nice. I mean, building something which is original, which is unique. So instead of, being dressed like this, I mean, casual, elegant, very unusual, I could have worn, for example, a formal jacket for the top, and then, worn out denim in terms of bottom. So it wouldn't work. Okay, then. So today we've seen and we've shared with you this collection whose name is Amore, Love, which is made up of 4 tales or 4 stories. Our 4 collections: Icona, Gesso 10 by 20, Aroma and Stile 6 by 24. All of them are different. They are different in terms of origin. They are different in terms of shades, color, and use. This means we can really, make 4 different types of customers happy. 2 new rectangular formats, 10 by 20, 6 by 24. This is for horizontal but also vertical laying. You can also have a different, sort of scalloped installation or laying, or wall decoration, as we say. Plenty of new colors, for example, 27 new colors, 16 are absolutely new colors and never made before. With 65 different items, now all of them have the same price, so this will make your life easier. In the next days or so, you will receive a visit from our, salespeople with some samples, tangible physical samples, and I think that around mid-November they will visit you with the complete range of these new products. Now, our salespersons will also show you some new merchandising novelties and developments that we have specially designed so that you can really have an effective, presentation of these products in your showroom. I'd like to share this with you because it's really important for us. You can see here very simple, stands. This is very, very easy. You can use them in a very easy, informal way. Maybe you want to share some projects, all the projects together, or maybe one only. As you can see here, the design is very special. So this is not a horizontal or even a vertical line. It's oblique, because I really want people to see the tone, the shade of color of every single product. So you can see here the complete stand. Here it comes. So as you can see, it's a library. Now, in this library, you can see here 24 different panels. But once again, can you see the angle? You get close, and at first sight, you really, really see all the colors available. When you step into, a boutique, where they sell garments, you have plenty of garments all around you, and you go closer. The first thing you do is, finding the inspiration, the color. You look at something, okay, you may like it or dislike it, no problem, but this is what we would like to do. I said before that these products can be matched to any kind of floor tiles that you have. This means that you remove the panel, and then you can really do this kind of matching. You do an association with the floor that you have just chosen. Okay, so you measure, you do the comparison yourself. Now, all the products have the same price. So this means we will, let's say, find it easy to sell, and you don't have to calculate the price. So Amore, this line is a great opportunity for us, for our company Imola, but also for you. So you will offer a wide, diversified range of products on the market. Once again, of course, you can match this to our best-selling products. This is the wall tile collection. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening today. Now, before wrapping up, let me remind you once again the reason why we are doing all of these streaming presentations. Well, stronger together. Well, we have to stay together. Together we win. Thank you so much. See you soon. Thank you.